everybody. We are going to focus on the fines just for a small segment, and then we'll have just a couple of headlines coming right up. Hi, everybody, and welcome to this segment of Black Rain with Autumn. I thank you guys so much for tuning in today, and for those of you who were able to see the brief live stream from earlier, and I'll tell you more about that in just a second. But before I do, I'm going to give a warm thanks to our patrons, subscribers, and of course, the viewers like you. And I will be right back. Thank you guys so much for tuning in on your Sunday. This show is brought to you in part by our sponsors. Whether you're interested in health, culture, politics, scripture, automobiles, or music, please check out Derek C. Williams, Killer Whale Channels, The Definition of Anarchy, Marcy T., Joseph Francis Burton, Paralysis by Analysis, Chrysler Imperial H, Little Miss Goth, AZ Infidel, Cold War Jesus, Anthony Scioli, and Let the Truth Be Told. We'll be right back right after this. All right. Thank you guys so much once again for tuning in to this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. And I do want to say hello to the friends in the chat. And we will start with Jermaine G. Thank you, Jermaine G, for returning. And I appreciate all the engagement and support throughout the life of the channel. And hello to Nick Smith. Latin Patriot is here. And thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And I am suffering from some type of little pesky little something flying around here. I'll try not to give him too much attention. But Jermaine G, I'm going to read a few comments. So I'll go back one. Jermaine G says, hello. He says, Queen Autumn. How are you? Thanks so much for tuning in. Nick Smith says, hello, everyone. Latin Patriot says, hello, thank you for your time. And once again, you guys are turning me into queendom here. That's more than flattering, okay? And Jermaine G says, my General Derek Williams have been stocking up on supplies for months now. Very nice. Very nice. And Latin Patriot says, pleasure is mine. What do you guys have created the queen the palace of not a queendom, not exactly a queendom here, but I thank you guys so much. You're very much flattering around here. So let me tell you what I'm on about. So earlier I did a little bit of a thank you, Latin Patriot. I really appreciate it. And I'll say, you know what they say? The saying goes something like, all musicians want to be comedians and all comedians want to be musicians. So, chew on that. Okay. Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Latin Patriot. And so earlier I was just kind of, of course I need to get some things. I've been a lot more subtle about, my intentions, or I've been doing things behind the scenes, but I actually occasionally I do go out and do things, and I look for things. So I said we're going to kind of focus on the finds, and I think that's kind of the approach that we'll take. Just kind of for those of you who are not doing anything with prepping, or if you're a prepper, or if not, if it doesn't speak to you, then you can just press pause or press mute. And then once we get past that, you can just come, zoom back in. But yes, so I will play a little bit of a video. Um, yeah, because I think there's you can find great things in places that people don't normally think about. And I also would kind of like to make this kind of a collaborative. Um, and there's some really experienced and really seasoned preppers out there, of course, above my above my novice level. So, I don't mind that at all. If you're interested, of course, you can always send me things, or if you have something you'd like to contribute, then that's absolutely fine. If we do some type of network or networking kind of prepping going on here. Looks like a little bit of a lag there. So thank you guys so much. And if Old Head Deuce is within the sound of my voice, Old Head Deuce, the graphic was dedicated to you. He put in the chat earlier, he says, put down those hot Cheetos. And I'm not a fan of hot Cheetos, but they appeal. They've managed to think of everyone when when it comes to hot Cheetos and those products, the brand. No, 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 no. Let me check it again. Let me make sure that I didn't miss that. I should have missed that, Latin Patriot. But let me check it again. So not to worry. Let me know when you did send that, and I will check it again. Thank you so much. I think, well, just let me check it again, because I don't want to say that you didn't or that I didn't get it, but I'm not sure. Sometimes I start doing things and then I get distracted and then I don't finish the thought. I get a little bit, don't want to be manic there, but yeah, but I will certainly get back to you for sure. I will go through the threads and go through everything. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. So what we're going to do first is I will show you I will show you the item that I actually found at this was at the Dollar Tree is where I went. And it was kind of fun. It's kind of fun. So I'm going to go ahead and show you just a little bit of I'm going to show you just a little bit of a small little, kind of like I have you seen this kind of presentation, and I'll go slow. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. Hope you guys are doing well on your Sunday and you found the chance to enjoy where available. So I'm going to share this screen. And then, shout out to Old Head Deuce. Old Head Deuce, it's because of you that we're going to... Uh-oh. Okay, so I'm doing a little bit of duplication here. All right, so I'm going to give you the full screen here and show you some of the finds here. Or I think hang on one second here. I think I'm on the wrong frequency here. Okay, so we're actually just going to share the screen on this one. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. So yeah, I thought there were lots of neat items at the, of course, at the Dollar Tree. Sometimes I get confused, because everywhere, all over the country, they're different. There's a Dollar Tree. There's a dollar store. There's everything for $1. There's another one that I'm missing, and it's right. It's the 99-cent store. If you're on the West Coast, you know what I'm on about with that one. I mean, they have produce and everything there, freezer sections, you name it. So let me just go through this a little bit. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Okay, so I want to slow this down just a hair. So, like I'm finding that there are going to be some items out there that are going to be kind of coveted items. So what I'm looking at, and this is honey, is what I'm showing you a graphic of here. And I did put the question there, would this be considered a new world or an old world find? And how much would it be worth to you in the event that things are scarce and they're not readily available as they are right now? So, just a little bit of food for thought, for lack of a better word there. So I'm going to keep playing that. So yes, we're going to kind of focus on the finds. So here we go. Shout out to Old Head Deuce. So as you can see, that the company that brought you Cheetos, they created a mac and cheese flaming hot flavor. So you kind of got like a hot Cheetos. I just can't even imagine. I didn't even bother to pick up the box and turn it over because I'd imagine there's a lot of dye in that. I think the dye in that pretty stains your teeth pretty well. Um, yeah, so shout out to Old Head Deuce. If you're into the hot Cheetos, I mean, I think there's all colors of hot Cheetos right now. I mean, you could probably get them in like a blue. I don't know what they call that one. They might be even hotter than the flaming hot Cheetos. I have no idea. But yes, let me read a comment here before I keep going. Latin Patriot. Okay, let me get into that, Latin Patriot. I will double check it for sure. He says honey needs to be kept in the dark. That's very interesting, very helpful. Latin Patriot, I really appreciate that. That's good for notes for us. And Latin Patriot also says that's filled with chemicals that aren't healthy. I would agree 100%. I would imagine that there's probably not a lot of cheese in that. If you're into cheese, or if cheese is a part of your diet, um, you're not going to get a whole lot of value out of that. You're going to get a lot of empty calories, and yeah, I mean, sure, the kids will be satisfied with the imagery there, but yeah, we'll just keep going here. So there you go. That's pretty much what you don't want to have in your finds. For your prepping finds, you probably don't want to purchase. You probably don't want to purchase the mac and cheese flaming hot flavor. So for Old Head Deuce, no, I did not purchase those. And you probably shouldn't either. And don't even feed them to the dog. So we're gonna keep going here. So what I did find is what you see over my shoulder is you actually see like more either legumes or beans, lentils, and even you had your grains underneath. So this was at the Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree. Keep that word dollar on the front, or 99 cents maybe in the mind there. But at the top you can see you have I think you had, like, there were lentils there. I think there were red pinto beans. And I think there were even kidney beans in that. But of course, that's behind me there. But below there, you had brown rice and you had white rice. And you also had a jasmine rice in that bin below. So, if you want to check it out, you can do that. There's lots of places you can get things. But if you can't, depending on what your budget is and what you can afford, some people haven't started at all. They have no, dare I say, some people just haven't woken up yet. Do I have to say that? Is that what I need to say? I don't know what to say. All right, so I'm going to read a comment here from Latin Patriot. She says, you can feed it to your lefty friends. Yeah, I'm sure they'll enjoy that. And thank you for those of you who are joining us over on Twitch. It looks like we have some new friends over on Twitch. Thank you guys so much for supporting. And Jermaine G says, who come up with these non-healthy food and beverages? Well, I really don't. I don't know, but I will tell you that I did run into something. This is not something that I can, that I have the products to compare with. But I will say that I think sometimes some of the European products have been known to have more fruit. Like if you're dealing with like a frozen something or something that's fruit flavored, you might say, for instance, in the oatmeal, the Quaker Oats, with the strawberry pieces, you might actually find real strawberry pieces in that oatmeal with the strawberry pieces out of the UK versus the strawberry pieces that you will find in the similar Quaker Oats, strawberries and cream or whatever. And I find that to be interesting, more than interesting. It's more than disappointing, we kind of tend to, when you go, to Europe and other places, if you see something or a home brand, if you will, and then you find out, well, hey, this is healthier than what I get in the States. What's going on here? Even in the gummy bears, you can find more real fruit juice in their gummy bears than you will from those in the States. So I'll keep going here. So this is the dollar store. And so we're moving on right now a little bit to the sugar and spice. So they had quite a bit of sugar and spice, everything from garlic salt to thyme leaves, basil, lemon pepper. They had, was it paprika, red pepper flakes? These are just a few that I can name just right off. Even Italian seasoning, like I don't know if you make your own salad dressings, you make your own bread dippings. The Dollar Tree, okay? The Dollar Tree. Himalayan salt was the next one, so we'll keep going there. Hello, Tyrant Spain TDOA. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And we're focusing on the finds for prepping. So, whatever your budget is, for $1, you can pick up some pretty high quality items, I would say. So we're going to keep going here. So you can even find, your sea salts, your cracked pepper, whatever you're looking for. There's quite a bit there. It's pretty impressed with what I came across there. So I'm going to keep going here. All right. Okay, so what we're looking at now is, I'm going a little bit ahead here. Okay, so let me go back one here. Sorry about that. All right, so what you have here is you have your pink Himalayan salt. So there you're getting you're getting a pound of the Himalayan pink salt, and it's granulated pretty fine. And I mean, you're getting all of that. It looks like it's a resealable bag, and you get all of that for $1. Yeah. So why sell yourself short there? So that was something else, another find that I found there. So, and there I said here, if you guys want to contribute to, the finds, or, as more things come up, then, you can feel free to do that, or send me an email, and I will do my best to make sure that I don't get distracted and read them and then not get back to you. So I appreciate it. And so I'm going to keep going here. So thank you so much, Tyrant's Brain TDOA. Thank you so much for coming in. So we're going to keep going here. I just have a couple of lines. We're not going to get too heavy into things on this stream. So there again, you got your more items here in the background. So yeah, you definitely want to stay away from the Cheetos Flaming Hot. I think that's kind of a no-brainer there. I think you can handle that. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to that segment. So I really appreciate it. So yeah, check out your local Dollar Tree. You can see what's all there, and yeah, just make it a part of your list, I guess. If you're into that sort of thing. And I'm going to read a couple of comments here. I've gotten behind here, and Latin Patriot says, take it as a gift in a dollar store container, along with a couple of 2-liter sodas and more junk food. Use lefty tactics on lefties. Latin Patriot, you have it all. You've got it all down. She says it's lefties that want people to be unhealthy and sick, so we will die. Well, there you go. I really appreciate it. So yeah, so this was just like a little short video that I did here. Found a pretty decent selection at the Dollar Tree. I'm sure if this is lagging or not. Pretty impressed. So I don't know. You guys might want to get to your local Dollar Tree or your dollar store and see what. Okay, so this store was the shelves were pretty well stocked. Like sometimes, I'm not sure, some of these people that get it down to a science, they pretty much know when these stores actually get deliveries and when they, the days that they receive their shipments. So you might check in your own dollar store, your Dollar Tree, your 99-cent store to find items that you would like to use in your own prep. And yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to share there, just briefly. So we'll see if we can come up with a prep challenge, and yeah, send us your prep your prep ideas or your prep techniques. We won't turn anything down, like whether it's first aid kinds of supplies or hacks, any of that. Just let us know. Really appreciate it. Okay. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. I really appreciate it as always. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we do have a couple of lines for this segment, and then I'll get you guys on your way for this Sunday. So we're going to start with something that I found to be a little bit bizarre. Looks like we have a California parent who sends an elementary school teacher to the hospital after a fight about the face diapers, the face rags. So let's have a look at that. We'll go there. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. I really appreciate it. So I'm going to be giving you full screen on that story. I really appreciate you guys so much for burning some minutes out of your Sunday here. Thank you so much for tuning in. So that's going to come from the Gateway Pundit. And we'll go to LA. We'll go to an LA announcement after that. All right. So according to this, a California parent sends elementary school teacher to the hospital after fight about, you know what, the face bib. So I'm going to give you the full screen on that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Hello, Luciano. Appreciate it. Okay. So here, according to this, a California parent allegedly left an elementary school teacher bruised and bloodied after a fight about the face flag on Wednesday. The incident took place at Sutter Creek Elementary at the end of the first day back. Woohoo. Quote, the teacher was bleeding, in quote, Amador County Unified School District Superintendent Tori Gibson told KCRA3. Quote, he had some lacerations on his face, some bruising on his face, and a pretty good knot on the back of his head. Gibson explained that the father was outraged and yelled at the school's principal when he saw his daughter walk out of the building wearing the face flag. When a male teacher stepped in, the situation escalated to an actual fight. Okay, I'm going to keep going here. All right, the school's policy is that everyone needs to wear masks, but teachers who have proved they are fully mocktailed can take off their face flag indoors if students are not present, according to the KCRA report. A letter Gibson sent to families said that, quote, assaulting a staff member will never be tolerated on any school campus, and called for people to, quote, take a breath, pause, listen, and walk away if necessary, end quote. Quote, remember, we are not the ones making the rules / mandates. We are the ones required to follow / enforce them if we want to keep our doors open and students at school 5 days a week, end quote, the letter said. The teacher was treated at the hospital and released that evening. The parent is no longer allowed on campus, but the child is. Quote, if it's appropriate to press charges, we will do that, end quote, Gibson told the station. Quote, if they tell me it's not appropriate, I will trust them, end quote. Okay, so I don't know, you guys, what does they say? Don't throw your blows. Don't. Right. I mean, what are you going to do? It's going to be a battlefield, it seems. And that doesn't seem to be going away anytime soon. So let me just read some comments here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And Latin Patriot says, maybe the parent defended self. Thank you. That's very interesting. Luciano says, sending a horrible teacher to the hospital. Oh, the good old days when bad teachers got dealt with. And Latin Patriot says, maybe the teacher attacked first. They leave out those little deets, right? They really do. And let's see. Latin Patriot says, my ex saw his teacher having sex with a student in junior high school, but he didn't know what to do. How to tell. My ex saw his teacher having sex with a student in junior high school, but he didn't know what to do. How to tell on the teacher. Okay. Yeah, that's a heavy one. Oh, thanks so much, Jermaine G. And Latin Patriot says information is essential to to be less ignorant and learn every day to become a more informed person. Okay. And Jermaine G says, if it was me, I would wait until the teacher is off campus. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right. So we're going to move on to another line. And this next liner is uh, I'm just gonna let it speak for itself here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a quick little break here, and I will be right back. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this segment, this Sunday segment of Black Spring with Autumn. This show is brought to you in part by our sponsors. Whether you're interested in health, culture, politics, scripture, automobiles, or music, please check out Derek C. Williams, Killer Whale Channels, The Definition of Anarchy, Marcy T., Joseph Francis Burton, Paralysis by Analysis, Chrysler Imperial H, Little Miss Goth, AZ Infidel, Cold War Jesus, Anthony Scioli, and Let the Truth Be Told. We'll be right back right after this. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I was on a mute. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you, Jermaine G. I caught it. I caught it. So thank you guys so much. We're going to go into this next liner that comes from WND.com. This report says that Los Angeles to require mocktails to buy groceries. And this is a plan introduced by Council President Nury Martinez. Okay. Looks like a penman Bob Unruh published this on yesterday. The day before, Friday the 13th, that was. The demand for mocktails, including various governmental and corporate requirements for the jabs, finally may be getting out of hand. Not that it hasn't already caused controversy, economic injury, and more. Now, the Epoch Times is reporting a plan in Los Angeles to require mocktail proof in order to go into restaurants, gyms, entertainment venues, and retail stores, including grocery retailers. The report said that would be more restrictive than New York City's plan to require that proof in restaurants and such, because it excludes retail stores. So there you go. You got your one up, right? Coast to coast. LA's plan comes from Council President Nury Martinez and Council member Mitch O'Farrell. In a prepared statement, Martinez claimed, quote, "It's our responsibility to protect the public. That includes protecting them from the unmocktailed. The decision to not get mocktail doesn't just affect you. We have kids under the age of 12 who are not eligible for the mocktail yet, and someone's decision to not get mocktail affects them as well, end quote. It's about the kids, it's that's where they go, right? O'Farrell claimed those who choose not to take the mocktail are, quote, immoral, end quote. When resident Elizabeth Elliott pointed out that it was unethical to force people to take a jab, explaining, quote, people should have medical freedoms to research and make their own health decisions. We as citizens have a right to privacy, especially with our health information, end quote. Others warned the council of looming, quote, pushback, end quote. One caller, Justin, explained going down this road right now is really dangerous. We're going to see lots of serious backlash, including lawsuits, end quote. A commentary at the American Conservative Movement charged LA officials with being, quote, delusional, end quote. It said, quote, the Los Angeles City Council has conspired to deprive people of their basic civil liberties, their right to privacy, their right of body autonomy, their right to assemble, their right of informed consent, end quote. The article continued, quote, on August 11th, the council members voted unanimously on an ordinance to seek to starve out the unmocktailed by denying them access to retail grocery stores. Councilman members were to persecute the people they are supposed to serve, blocking their family, friends, neighbors from bars, gyms, entertainment venues, restaurants, and retail stores, end quote. It warned, quote, the only people allowed to traverse the entertainment capital of the world are those who shoot up with the proteins and carry slave papers, also known as the mocktail record card. The LA ordinance, quote, requires, end quote, people to show proof of the mocktail as a prerequisite to enter any indoor public space in the city. This act of segregation will also block up to 40% of the revenue that restaurants, bars, and other small businesses once enjoyed, while driving droves of people out of the city as they seek freedom in a free state, end quote. And that comes out of WND.com. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And who do we have? AZ Infidel, how are you? Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it and all of your support. AZ Infidel says, stock up food and gear. Latin Patriot. Okay, I will not do the the inter-dialogue conversations. I will do that. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. And I have one other story that I think is a little bizarre, but I'm not surprised. All right, so I'm going to take a quick little break and come back and give our final story on the day. And thank you guys so much for joining me on the live earlier as we will focus on the fines and whatever else we come up with for, we'll see if we can come up with a prep challenge. All right, I will be right back right after this. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And we're going to go to our final liner. And this is Corey Bush. I've referred to her as the fifth wheel, and yeah, to the squad. But she seems to be loving she's loving the media coverage, but she also, it's like she can't make up her mind. She's either crapping on the police or she's crapping on she's saying that her needs are going to come before yours. And yeah, she's just I just think she's I think she's really out of touch with reality. And she is her reality. She believes she's convinced, you know that she's on the right track. So that's, I guess that's all she needs to do to spend taxpayer money. So we're going to keep going here. All right, so according to this, cops guarding Dem rep Corey Bush fired for guarding without permission. So this it's just it just keeps going on and on and on. So according to this, two cops who were guarding Rep Corey Bush, who said he wants to defund the police, have been fired. Now that's a little awkward, that writing there. I assume that this is Corey Bush, because she's the one that says that the defunding of the police has to happen and that the funding has to be dumped into social safety nets. Okay, that's her, and whatever the hell that means. Okay, there is no safety net, but she has a golden parachute. But there is no social safety net. Really, you can't convince me that there is one. Okay, so we're going to keep going here. The New York Post reported that two St. Louis deputies were dismissed last month for working on progressive Rep Corey Bush's security detail without permission, days before the quote squad member end quote member defended spending tens of thousands of campaign dollars on private protection while pushing to quote defund the police end quote. So here again, I think that's a misnomer, because she's never been. I don't know if was she ever officially a squad member, or it actually doesn't matter. But she's been given that. She's got that on her profile now. However, the St. Louis Sheriff Vernon Betts told KMOV that he initially warned now former deputies Tylence Jackson and Maurice Thompson to quit moonlighting as muscle for Bush and fill out the proper forms after they accompanied her on a tour of St. Louis jails in April. However, Betts said he was told by Veterans Affairs Police several weeks later that Jackson and Thompson were providing security for Bush again. In addition to violating policy by not getting approval to work a secondary shift, neither Jackson nor Thompson have licenses to work private security, Betts told KMOV. Jackson claimed Thursday that he and Thompson were dismissed because they, quote, didn't push the agenda of the sheriff on the client, Bush, end quote. Sheriff Betts said that the firing had nothing to do with them working for Bush, but because proper procedures weren't followed. Corey Bush was exposed as a hypocrite after it came out. She spent over $70,000 in personal security last year. From the Gateway Pundit, cops for me, but not for thee. Marxist Democrat Corey Bush is one of several Democrats who ran a platform to defund the police, quote, but Bush reportedly spent $70,000 on her personal security last year. She responded to being exposed by telling those questioning her to, quote, suck it up. So yeah, that's, she's a nasty little cuss, right? Nice little piece of work to deal with. So I really appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. So we have Gary Gage here. How are you, Gary Gage? It's been a lifetime. I really appreciate it. And also AZ Infidel is here. Let me read your comment here. AZ Infidel says it's a desert well. I can only pump 100 gallons a day, so I store it. All right, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a quick little break and I'm going to say salute to everybody in the stream. And thank you guys so much for coming in on this 11th hour stream. And thank you guys so much for tuning in to my finds earlier today. I really appreciate it. And I will be right back. This show is brought to you in part by our sponsors. Whether you're interested in health, culture, politics, scripture, automobiles, or music, please check out Derek C. Williams, Killer Whale Channels, The Definition of Anarchy, Marcy T., Joseph Francis Burton, Paralysis by Analysis, Chrysler Imperial H, Little Miss Goth, AZ Infidel, Cold War Jesus, Anthony Scioli, and Let the Truth Be Told. We'll be right back right after this. All right, guys. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in to this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. I really appreciate it. So I just want to say salute to everybody in the stream. Jermaine G, thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate it. And also, if you guys have prepper ideas or information you'd like to share, please email me. And let me know what your thoughts are, or let us know your concept, or share whatever you'd like. Thank you so much. And Nick Smith, thank you so much for coming in. Latin Patriot, thank you so much. And I'm going to check that email and make sure I didn't miss that. But thank you so much. Tyrant Spain TDO, thank you so much for coming in and supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. Luciano was here. Thank you so much for coming in. And John Roberts, I will check on the Twitch situation as well. Twitch is twitching or glitching. AZ Infidel, thanks so much for tuning in and for supporting the channel. And one more, we have Gary Gage. Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate everybody. Tyrant Spain TDOA says, I suggest people RV up and go to AZ Infidel's land. There we go. Tyrant Spain TDOA, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So yes, like I was saying, if you have ideas, if maybe you have your own system of prepping, I consider myself a novice, so yeah, if you have techniques or tools or hacks, first aid, or preservation, the storage of items, that's good. And especially even when it comes to, dare I say, communication, electronics, or if anybody has any information on that, I'm open to it. So bring it. So, and if you're interested in the email, it's just blackspringwithautumn@gmail.com. And I have a comment here from Nick Smith who says, enjoying the show. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Prepping is new for me. There's a lot of great channels out there that's their specialty, and they have products as well. But like I said, it just depends on what your budget is and what you are trying to do. Where you can get the most value, the most bang for your buck. I think we're all trying to save where we can, because I don't think the inflation is a myth, but some people will continue to say that it is. So TDOA says that SAT phone and HAM radio. Well, thank you for that, Tires Bane TDOA. You'll have to come and you'll have to tell us about that. You'll have to tell us more about that, because I'm not quite sure I can translate. Not sure if I know what an SAT phone is or an HAM radio. I'm not sure, but I appreciate it. And satellite phone. Okay. I appreciate it. Yeah, so I mean, I may even do something like something kind of not exclusive, but something, organized, that we can have some challenges or whatever, and you guys can get involved that way. Yeah, it's just like, wherever we can come up with some things that we can do, with some actual solutions. It's helpful. Yeah. And AZ Infidel says, having created in the image and likeness of God, no one can make you take that thing. Yeah, hang in there. It's, it's like worldwide, worldwide. But yeah, I think, dare I say, people are waking up. But that brings me to my next. I think some people are. I've heard this before, but I didn't elaborate on it, and I didn't bring it up. But I've heard of people are saying, oh, they're going political and saying, oh, well, I'm having voters remorse. And I'm just thinking, at this point, I just think you got to stay focused. I mean, I don't know what you're doing, but you got to wake up to something beyond. You got to go beyond go beyond the party lines at this point. It's getting to be, it's a survivorship. I think that everybody's, that's safer. That's going to be the most consistent thing. But I don't know. It's Twitter is its own. Twitter is its own little ecosystem, dare I say. Latin Patriot says, what does SAT? He says it's satellite phone, Latin Patriot. Satellite, SAT, satellite phone. So AZ Infidel says he's been preparing for a long time for this, just sort of this sort of thing. I could believe that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. But yes, we can chop it up. However you guys want. You guys can send me. Maybe you want to share. Maybe we'll do a segment where you guys can share your gadgets or share your hacks with us. We're not turning anything down around here. We could be reproved around here. And yeah, so yeah, send me your ideas. And but I'm going to be honest. I do think it's going to be necessary to have networks. I think once upon a time I had a little hack where you didn't have to have the face flag. Like, there were, nationwide, there were a list, and I'd imagine that list has grown. So maybe we'll revisit that the next time. Places where you can go where they are not requiring. Oh my gosh, I'm so prepared, right? Places where they're not requiring these things. So yeah, I really appreciate you guys for coming on, and I'm going to wish you guys well on your Sunday. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next live stream, in the comment section on the video. Moonlight stream, Real Under. Have you seen this? Or even we can add to the prep challenge. We'll keep going with develop the prep challenge and the focus on the fines. So thank you guys so much for coming in. And Latin Patriot, for our last comment, says they want a one world digital currency to control everyone easier, accomplish it by creating problems and chaos, have us be weak and hopeless. Yeah, stay strong is, I guess, is the least I can say. Yeah, just try not to despair, I guess, is what I'm on about. And Jermaine G says, get yourself some phones that are not touchscreen nor with GPS. Yeah, well, add that to our list. Add that to our list. And Lion Patriot, I did not forget about you. Let me see I'm going to go into those emails right now. I do apologize if something got by me, but I'll double check and I'll get back. I'll send you something soon. All right, guys, we'll have a great rest of your Sunday / weekend, and hope you have a great start of your week.